Hi, I'm Denise Landis from The Cook's Cook, and in the winter time or even on cool rainy days in summer, one thing that I like to do is to make homemade bread. And what I would really like to do for the first time is to grind my own wheat to make bread. I haven't done it before, so I'm really excited about it. And if we're going to go to all of the trouble of grinding our own wheat, then I think that we should use local wheat, and that's what I've got right here. These are whole wheat berries. You can get whole wheat berries at the supermarket. Don't let them send you to the produce department, which they probably will try to do if they're not familiar with these. They are dried. You'll find them with grains, and even if they tell you at your supermarket that they don't have them, take a look yourself, because I was told over and over again they didn't have them, and then I did find them. But I got mine from local farmers market, and this is from a company called Root Cellar. And it's in Nottingham, New Hampshire, which is not far from where I live. It's very close to where I live. So it's really great to have local whole wheat. So what I'm going to do is first, for our bread, we need to let our yeast proof. And so if you've done any baking at all, then you'll know what that's all about. I've got warm water here. I'm going to add the yeast to it. And then I'm going to add some honey, because we're going to want that. Also help the yeast proof, having that sugar in there. And we'll just give that a little bit of a stir. And then we're going to let that sit aside for 5 minutes. And while we're doing that, then we're going to grind our wheat. So I'm going to set this aside. And now we've got the wheat. Now, this is a recipe from Vitamix. I figured who ought to know better how to make bread with their product than Vitamix. So we've got 350 grams of whole wheat berries that we just put in there, and we're going to give them a quick grind. It doesn't take very long. So I'm starting off at a very low speed, and then I'm going to gradually increase that, and then we will grind the wheat for 1 minute. We want the flour to be finely ground, but you don't want to overheat it, and you really don't want to overdo it. So 1 minute should be fine at the high speed. So the next thing, let me just show you what that looks like. The model I'm using is an A2300, and I am using a special container that's just for grinding flour. So now the next thing that we're going to do is add our other ingredients, and so we're going to add salt, oil, lemon juice, and then you'll see that our yeast is very nicely proofed, and so we're going to pour that in. There is an opening at the top that you can use, but this pitcher that I'm using might spill, so I just took the lid off. And now what we're going to do is just give it a good stir, and then we're going to start processing it so it will knead the dough. First step toward kneading this is first to just mix everything up. So what we're going to do is just turn it on for 1 second. Okay, I'm going to take the lid off, I'm going to mix it up. So what this is doing is we're going to, instead of kneading it by hand, this will knead the dough very nicely. And the two-step process is scraping the sides and then mixing it. So put that back on, and then we're going to just mix it quickly 5 times, on and off 5 times. So now our dough is all ready, and the next thing that we're going to do is to put it in the pan, and then it will go into a preheated oven. So I want to show you what I've decided to use today, because I think these are pretty neat. This is a disposable baking pan. You can see it's a little loaf pan, and it comes, well, when you buy these things, they come with a parchment paper liner, and they're really great because they make a nice sized loaf. It's perfect for giving as a gift, perfect for just having a small loaf for a few people, and you can see it's really beautiful, and they work really, really well. So I'm going to put that in this pan, and the dough just gets turned out into it. Since it's parchment paper, you do not need to oil the pan. You don't need to oil the lining. And so we're going to just scrape that into there. And the smell of the dough, even when you first mix it up, is really nice. It's the smell of the yeast. It's always, I think it's always a very comforting aroma. And then, of course, it gets even better as it's baking. And they say that when people want to sell their homes or make their home particularly inviting, the thing to do is always to be baking. So if you're going to be putting your house or apartment on the market, then you can make yourself some bread. It will smell great, and then you get a loaf of bread out of it. So, okay, we'll just get that out. It fills the pan very nicely. And we're going to pop that in the oven. The bread came out really well. It was a very nice, moist batter, and really made a delicious loaf with a moist crumb and a nice light crust on the outside. Tastes terrific. I really love it. And it was great doing it with the Vitamix blender. As I said, this model is an A2300. It's really nice. And of course, you can use it for things other than grinding grains. It's terrific for making soups, for making drinks. As a matter of fact, drinks will be next on the list.